and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so.
Initially, I was going to do it, and it kept my schedule. It just didn't work out, but I'm glad I didn't. I thought it got to be too messy, and I said it out loud. I think for a while, Club Shay Shay was like Wendy Williams with a weight set. Like, this dude, I mean, it was messy. The reason that those people went on Club Shay Shay in its first iteration before it became successful, it's because we saw what he did. And the reason I was going to go on is because we saw what Skip did to him.
Is that when he said, put your glasses back on or something like that?
That was so horrible to me that I think a lot of people were determined to help this black man be successful because of what had happened to him. And to kind of curate all that and have that place that they worked so hard for you to have so you would have your own space be just an amalgamation and curate all the bull that is happening in our community seemed insulting to me.
Right. And we're talking about, man, some of the same people that rallied around him to make sure.
Shannon Sharpe's spotlight might be fading fast because DL Hughley just came in swinging and the dirt he's throwing? It's wild. DL isn't pulling punches. He's calling Shannon out heavy, saying he didn't just sell out, he sold his soul to Hollywood's gatekeepers and now the bill is due. This ain't just gossip. DL's talking like Shannon's stuck in something deep and ugly. He claims Shannon made some kind of secret deal just to stay at the top. But when it came time to pay up, Shannon flopped. And now, it's all crashing down.
It's a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
But DL ain't the only one dropping hints. The street's been talking louder every day, and the whispers are turning into shouts. People out here saying Shannon's next up to get chopped, real Hollywood guillotine style. Allegedly, he made promises behind closed doors, but Hollywood don't play about loyalty. And now that he can't hold it down for the gatekeepers, the street's saying they coming for him. And it gets messier. Sources behind the scenes are claiming that a whole line of women are gearing up to take legal action.
That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it or I would myself. You know what happened and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation. And now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down.
We're talking lawsuits, allegations, and the claims, they're insane. This ain't just a little drama. It's sounding like a whole legal storm is brewing. Now the big question, what does DL Hughley really know? And is Shannon being forced to stay quiet while everything burns down around him? DL's been warning Shannon for years, telling him to stop chasing validation from all the wrong people and stop mixing with the Hollywood elite like they got his back. But Shannon didn't listen. And now that his name is all tangled in scandal, DL isn't holding back.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. What it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you.
He went straight to Twitter and lit it up, flaming Shannon and basically saying he's lucky DL ain't the one hosting Club Shay Shay right now. And fans, they're eating this up. Some are siding with DL, some still standing with Shannon. But one thing's for sure, this fire is just getting started. The reactions were all over the place. Some folks felt like DL was going too hard, like he was kicking Shannon while he's already down. But let's be real, DL been calling this out for years. He's always claimed Shannon turned Club Shay Shay into a setup.
Okay, well, I don't...
You know what? Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Like a trap where black men get torn apart for clicks and clout. And when DL shaded him as Wendy Williams with a weight set, ooh, that one stung. Especially since people been saying Shannon lives for messy headlines and viral drama. That comparison had the internet in a chokehold. DL's never hidden how he really feels about Shannon's platform. He straight up hates it.
Is like
a fallacy or some kind of hoax or something like this, because he was about to get a bunch of money. And you know, when you're about to get a bunch of money, people that hate on you just wait until you're about to get that money and rain on your parade. But we can't say that. And that's why I wanted to say it, to get Stats' opinion. I knew when I said that she was going to go, yeah.
In his eyes, Club Shay Shay ain't about the truth anymore. It's about chaos, mess, and making noise. According to DL, Shannon's using that mic to throw shade, stir feuds, and let people crash out, all just to rack up views. Last year, DL went off in an interview saying he'd never sit across from Shannon, period. No interview, no chat, no camera time. Why? Because he said the show's too toxic, too chaotic, and straight up dangerous. The way Shannon sets it up, guests come on, spill beef, drag old drama from the grave, and air out stories that should have stayed buried.
No, you can't be on your way to 100 million. I keep telling Killer, right? And picking these kind of girls. You can't do that. We talked about this with Ant-Man.
And DL wanted none of it. Everybody knows what he was really talking about. The Cat Williams interview. That episode, it blew the internet up. Almost 90 million views and still climbing. It became one of the most viral podcast interviews on YouTube ever. Cat pulled no punches. He came in swinging at every big name in comedy. From Steve Harvey to Cedric to Kevin Hart, nobody was safe. It was pure chaos, and fans ate it up. But here's the plot twist. Cat didn't even come for DL in that interview. Not one jab, not even a mention. But DL, he still came for both Cat and Shannon, saying they turned the whole thing into a three-ring circus just for clicks. And now, DL's doubling down like he wants smoke. He's saying this is exactly why Shannon's empire is spiraling, and that he saw it coming from day one. In that same viral interview, Cat Williams didn't hold back. He looked Shannon dead in the eye and said, "You got a weird loyalty to losers." At first, folks laughed like it was a joke. But Cat? He was serious. That line wasn't just shade. It was a warning. Cat was calling out Shannon's ties to some real shady players behind the curtains. And if you listen closely, Cat kept slipping in hints the whole time, talking about how dangerous it is to sell your soul to the devil.
For him to offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason the 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the 10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. You know, just allegedly. I'm not saying there is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right?
But he wasn't talking about no fairy tale devil. He meant the real ones, the gatekeepers, the Hollywood bosses hiding in plain sight, the ones pulling strings from the shadows, deciding who shines and who gets shut out. Cat didn't just throw that out there, he broke it all down. He even called out Kevin Hart directly, said Kevin had major deals before he was even famous, meaning the real contracts weren't signed under bright lights. They were done behind closed doors, way before the public ever saw the glow-up.
There's a pimp, right? Why y'all keep laughing? That nigga worth a lot of money. You know how guys be, and they pushed her on her. And then she said 10. He was like, 10 is my 10. You gotta put in your number for yourself. That don't have nothing to do with mine. 10 is mine. That's what we discussed.
Cat painted a picture of what really goes down in the industry. Once you sign that deal, you don't belong to yourself no more. You gotta walk their walk, talk their talk, smile when they say smile, and stay silent when the truth could mess things up. Basically, once you're in, you're locked in. Forever. But what had people really side-eyeing the screen was how much Cat seemed to know about Shannon. From weird habits to relationship drama, Cat came off like someone who's seen it all. He even hinted that Shannon had been getting involved with some real questionable energy, especially when it came to women. Cat's message was loud and clear. Shannon's dancing too close to the fire, and the folks he's loyal to, they might be the very ones pulling him under. And if Shannon doesn't switch it up quick, he might end up trapped in the same machine he thought he was winning in.
That being said, it's important to point out a couple of things. Number one, I was not there. I can provide no eyewitness account. And even though I got love and respect for Shannon Sharpe, and I'm sincerely hopeful and prayerful that he is completely innocent of the allegations that have been levied against him.
Looking back, it's like Cat Williams saw the storm coming before anyone else. Because if Shannon Sharpe had listened to that warning, he might have avoided this $50 million disaster. So here's what's really unfolding. Shannon is now being sued for $50 million by a woman named Gabriela Zuniga, who most know as Gabby. And the details? They're straight up disturbing. Gabby's accusing Shannon of being controlling, manipulative, and aggressive during their relationship. She says things turned ugly after that chaotic IG Live moment went viral. According to the lawsuit, when she tried to cut things off, Shannon didn't let go. She claims that in January, he managed to talk his way back into her space and then crossed serious lines. Real serious. Gabby alleges Shannon ignored her boundaries completely, refusing protection and continuing after she clearly said no. And here's the part that's got people side-eyeing hard. She was just 19 when things started. Meanwhile, Shannon, a grown man with industry power behind him. Now folks are asking, were those industry ties shielding Shannon all this time? Or have the same people who once backed him decided he's disposable? It gets worse. Shannon's name is being splashed across some of the messiest headlines yet. And now people are saying this whole case could blow wide open. One of the biggest twists? Shannon and Gabby were allegedly deep into controversial territory, stuff involving extreme role play and domination. Sources say race play was even involved, and none of this even made it public until Shannon's own legal team leaked their private texts. Yeah, his own lawyer. The texts? Wild doesn't even begin to cover it. What was meant to stay behind closed doors is now front-page news. And suddenly, Shannon's carefully crafted image is spiraling fast. These leaked messages, straight up explicit, like wild.
I can't sit here and speak to his innocence or guilt from a knowledgeable place because I have nothing to do with this. I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything. I don't even know this person. I know what the reports say.
One of them had Gabby texting, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're messing with me." Another message read, "I know you missed this big juicy behind. $25,000 for each cheek. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to me." Yeah, that's the level we're on. And it didn't stop there. She also dropped a line saying, "That's my daddy. I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life." It was raw, unfiltered, and over the top. But clearly, Shannon's legal team leaked these messages to prove the relationship was mutual, if not intense. And right after the leak, Shannon's lawyer clapped back with a fiery statement. He didn't sugarcoat a thing, called the whole lawsuit a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions. According to him, the claims are straight fiction, twisted stories, just lies crafted to trap Shannon in court. The statement went even deeper, accusing Gabby and her lawyer, Tony Busby, of creating the scandal on purpose to cash in on Shannon's fame. They said the entire narrative was built to manipulate public opinion and force a payout, plain and simple. They denied every accusation of coercion and assault, called them gross lies, and an egregious attempt at blackmail. Shannon's side made it clear. They're not scared, not settling, and definitely not bowing out. And Shannon? He spoke out loud and direct, called it what he sees it, a desperate money grab. He says Gabby and her legal team are trying to finesse a massive payday off his name, and he's not folding. He's ready to fight it out in court no matter how messy it gets. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more chaotic, Shannon's not staying quiet. He's firing back hard. He's now claiming Gabby's legal team is holding on to more receipts, more clips, more chaos, and plotting to drop them when the time's just right. But here's the twist. Shannon says they already edited a 32-second video to make him look dangerous, aggressive, and straight up unhinged. According to him, that clip? It's chopped, cut, sliced to pieces, nothing but a highlight reel of chaos, taken way out of context. Shannon dared them to drop the entire 10-minute video, saying the truth is in the full footage. So now everyone's asking, why only show the edit? What are they hiding? That's when things get dark, real dark. For years, people in the industry have been whispering about these so-called blackmail vaults. Secret files full of wild videos, spicy recordings, and receipts so damaging they could end a whole career in one click. And the name that always pops up in these rumors? Diddy. Word is, Diddy kept tapes of Hollywood parties that were so wild, just watching them could make headlines explode. But he wasn't the only one. Allegedly, other powerful players did the same, keeping stacks of dirt on celebs like insurance. You rise through them, but they hold the leash. And once you step out of line, boom, they light the fuse. So now fans are looking sideways at this whole situation with Shannon. Some think Gabby's lawsuit isn't just about her. They're calling it a smokescreen, a distraction, maybe even a hit ordered from the top. Like someone powerful is pulling strings to humble Shannon or cash in on his downfall. And the timing? Couldn't be more suspicious. Just when Shannon starts flexing independence, building his brand, and moving outside the usual system, boom, the scandal lands. Coincidence? Or something way more calculated? Right before everything blew up, Shannon Sharpe was on the edge of something massive. We're talking a $100 million podcast deal lined up and ready to go. He had just left Colin Cowherd's Volume Network, and every major media giant was scrambling to grab a slice of the Club Shay Shay empire. And why not? Shannon had the golden touch. Club Shay Shay had nearly 4 million subscribers, and that viral Cat Williams interview? Still sitting pretty as the most viewed podcast episode in YouTube history. He wasn't just trending, he was dominating. Shannon was about to become one of the biggest media forces to ever come out of sports. But then, boom, the lawsuit dropped out of nowhere. And now fans can't help but connect the dots. Like, was this whole thing strategically dropped to block the bag? Did someone from behind the scenes leak this mess right as Shannon was about to hit billionaire-level money? Because the way this thing is unfolding, it don't feel random. It feels planned. Like someone made a call and said, shut it down. And here's where it gets even sketchier. Long before the $50 million lawsuit ever hit the blogs, Gabby and her legal team were already negotiating with Shannon's lawyer. Word is, they were pushing for a quiet $10 million settlement to make it all go away. Behind the scenes, it looked like everything was chill. Both sides were moving smooth, trying to avoid court drama altogether. But then, out of nowhere, Gabby's camp walked, just like that. No explanation, no heads up, just ghosted the deal. So now the streets are asking, who told them to walk away? Why give up a guaranteed $10 million? Unless you knew something bigger was coming? Unless someone promised more chaos, more exposure, and maybe a bigger payday? This is starting to feel less like a lawsuit and more like a takedown mission. Now here's the million-dollar question. Why would Gabby's team walk away from a clean $10 million deal? That kind of money could have closed the case quietly. But the fact that Shannon was even offering that much cash, it instantly raised eyebrows. Because let's keep it real. If Shannon was truly innocent, why drop that kind of bag just to silence things? It gave off the vibe that he had something major to hide. People started drawing comparisons fast. Remember when Diddy allegedly paid Cassie $30 million to settle behind the scenes? Most folks believed he did that because what was coming in court could have destroyed him. They said the evidence was just too heavy. So now fans are asking, what does that say about Shannon? Some folks think Gabby's team might have stumbled on something explosive. So explosive, it made them back out of the $10 million deal because they realized they could come for more. We're talking hard proof. Audio, videos, photos, anything that would pin Shannon down with zero room to spin it. And judging by what's already leaked, it's not looking great. 2 audio clips are already out, and they've gone crazy viral. In the first one, Shannon and Gabby are caught in a heated back and forth. Things escalate fast, and Shannon allegedly threatens to choke her out after she tells him to stop. He reportedly says, "You don't have a choice." The internet froze when that clip dropped. Then came the second recording. This time, Shannon allegedly says he'd do it in public. That's not just bold, that's wild and reckless. Gabby's lawyer, Tony Busby, says those 2 clips, that's just the preview. He claims there's way more where that came from, and it's only a matter of time before the rest drops. So now, it's all clicking for people. Maybe Gabby didn't walk away from $10 million. Maybe she leveled up, because she's sitting on something so damning, she knew Shannon couldn't survive it. Gabby's not backing down. She's convinced the jury could hand her way more than that $10 million settlement. But here's where the whole thing gets murky. Some folks think this isn't just about her anymore. There's a growing theory that Gabby might not be moving solo, that she's getting nudged by powerful hands behind the curtain. Word on the street is that certain high-up folks want to make an example out of Shannon. Not just embarrass him, but drain him dry. So now the big question is, who's really behind this lawsuit? Because the deeper this goes, the messier it gets. While Shannon's legal team is trying to contain the chaos, fans and insiders are clocking strange behavior in the background. And it's making people believe this ain't just one woman's case. It's the start of a bigger takedown. Multiple anonymous sources are coming forward, saying this lawsuit might have been the first strike. Allegedly, at least 2 more women are already working with legal teams, preparing to come forward with their own accusations. And the word is, these new claims, they're just as explosive, maybe even worse. Rumors are already swirling in underground forums. Names are being passed around in DM groups and backdoor blogs, but the legal squads are keeping them under wraps for now. Why? Because they're waiting for Shannon's next big media deal to drop. The moment he signs, that's when they'll hit. They're aiming for maximum damage, the kind that tanks contracts and turns deals to dust before the ink even dries. And maybe that's why Shannon's been real quiet lately. This man usually stays loud, posting slick captions, flexing business wins, throwing subtle shade online. But now, dead silent. No tweets, no interviews, no podcast banter. Just gone. Which only makes people more suspicious. Because when a man like Shannon stops talking, something big is about to break. It's giving hush mode, or maybe Shannon knows the storm's nowhere near done. Word is, one of his reps was caught leaving a high-end crisis PR firm in LA just last week, and that sent the rumor mill into overdrive. If you're pulling in crisis management pros, it's already past messy. But here's where things take a darker turn. Some folks believe this whole collapse is tied to Shannon's loyalty to certain Hollywood circles, the ones Cat Williams warned him about. Remember when Cat said, "You got a weird loyalty to losers?" Yeah. It's starting to look like he wasn't lying. Insiders are now claiming Shannon was spotted at parties with people allegedly under federal surveillance. Not TMZ-level messy, feds messy. That's a whole different beast. And fans haven't forgotten how Shannon used to brag about being protected, untouchable, thanks to his industry connects. But now, those same connections either ghosted him or flipped. Some people online are saying these lawsuits ain't even about justice anymore. They're about sending a warning, like Shannon's being made into an example. And if that's the case, then this ain't just his downfall. It's the opening shot in a much bigger takedown of anyone tied to that Hollywood inner circle. So now the spotlight's burning hot and the questions are getting louder. Why did Gabby walk away from that $10 million deal when the paperwork was this close to done? Why risk it all for a $50 million public showdown, unless she knows something that hasn't hit the internet yet? And let's not act like $50 million isn't bold, especially when the only receipts we've seen so far are spicy texts and a few audio clips. So what's really cooking behind the scenes? Who's pulling strings? Who's protecting who? And who's next? Because if Shannon's empire is falling this fast, you better believe someone else is next in line. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Shannon got set up? Or did he dig this hole himself? And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Because if this is just the beginning, you won't want to miss what comes next. Here's where things get real shady. Whispers inside the industry say Gabby might not be moving on her own, that there could be a third party pulling strings behind the scenes, someone powerful, someone who wants this case to explode and take Shannon down with it. Even Mace and Cameron couldn't ignore it. They brought it up on their podcast and things got wild real quick. Mace said something that had the whole internet clutching their screens. He claimed Shannon wouldn't have offered $10 million unless he felt at least a little guilty. But then he threw a curveball, suggesting someone like a pimp might have stepped in and told Gabby to reject the deal and drag it to court instead. Was Mace just talking slick? Maybe, but it definitely got people side-eyeing the whole situation differently. And then came the ESPN move. The moment this lawsuit started making headlines, ESPN didn't even blink. They immediately told Shannon to step back. According to insiders, they're already scouting his replacement. No patience, no loyalty, just gone. And what really shook fans? Stephen A. Smith's silence. This man always has something to say, especially when it comes to drama. Remember when he stood by Jay-Z during that whole Diddy scandal? He didn't flinch. But now, with Shannon, dead silent. Not a post, not a tweet, not a whisper. That silence says everything. Either the evidence is so ugly that even Shannon's closest allies can't ride with him anymore, or someone at the top made a call and told everyone to fall back. So now we gotta ask, is this karma catching up to Shannon? Or is he getting caught in a power play way bigger than we realize? Either way, the game has changed, and not in Shannon's favor. So, what's your take? Is this just the beginning of something deeper? Or is this the fall of a man who played too close to the fire? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you're still riding this messy wave, make sure you like, subscribe, and tap in for the next video, because this rabbit hole, it goes way deeper than we ever thought. See you on the next one.